Today at the Quick Speed Shop, I'm on the way to Hershey, Pennsylvania. It's the AACA Fall Meet 2025. That's right. I'm on the road right there today, heading there. But what's this? My 37 Ford behind me. I actually bought this car at Hershey 12 years ago. That's right, 2013 in the monsoon that it was, 10 inches of rain or whatever it was at Hershey. Rained all day, every day, the entire week. But I bought a car. Like my buddy Ted's dad said, don't buy a car in the rain. Well, I did. And here it is. The albatross around my neck. But I love it. And we got to get back working on it. Let me go into the whole backstory of the car. How it ended up here. How I've owned it 12 years and driven it only 20 miles in the whole 12 years I've owned it. And all it does is break down and cost me money. And it's still broken down and costing me money. That's why it's sitting here. And I haven't touched it in 2 years. But we're going to rectify that this winter. Hopefully, get this thing finally roadworthy for the spring. We'll see. So let's get into the backstory of my 37 Ford Tudor sedan. So it still has the remnants on the windshield from the sale at Hershey. It said 1937 Ford and it said V860 on it, and it might have said something else on there. So this car was originally, if you don't know what a V860 is, Ford starting in 1937 wanted a fuel-efficient car, and they even had a little Scotty dog who went in the ads with it. And they came out with the V860 Ford, and from 1937 to 1940, you could get a 60 horsepower Ford flathead, a miniature flathead, a 17 stud Ford flathead, and that's what this car was. So they only are available in standard models. This is a standard model. Right here is the emblem, Ford V860. And standard meant you got painted windshield frame, painted grille, not really a lot of options, regular standard wheel, not a banjo wheel, nothing like that. So this car is a factory V860 car. When I got it, it had a tin side engine in it, which is no longer in it right now. And a tin side was the original early 1937 V860 engines. They actually cast a hole in the side of the block, and then they welded a stainless steel plate in the side of the block to help save weight, take some of the weight out of the cast iron block, and use these like tin sides, and they called them tin sides. They did that early 37, and then they realized they were problematic with leaks and stuff like that, and then they went to all iron side normal blocks. But they kept the 17 stud little 60 horsepower engine all the way up to 1940 in the cars, and I guess you could get them in trucks too. But this car was originally that, and if you've followed along on the channel a couple years ago, I swapped in an 85 horse engine, and right now it has a 46 to 48 59 AB, which is a 24 stud. And it has the center outlet heads on there, just like, all, let's see, 49, they went to the 8BA. Was it 49? Yeah, 49, they went to the 8BA, which had the water outlets in the front of the head, but before that, they're in the center. So the reason I bought this car when I saw it at Hershey was the car is about 99% rust-free. It came out of Delaware, and I don't know the backstory of it, but the car has 96,000 miles on it, which is a pile of miles for a 37 Ford. Usually, cars didn't last that long. It didn't have the original engine in it. It had a different tin-sided 37 motor in it. This car I determined to be like a mid-production year, so it probably would have had an iron side V860 in it, but somebody had changed the engine and put a tin side early one in it. And other than that, it was stock, and it had been amateurly restored in like 1974 and put away in a barn all the way until 2013 when it got drugged back out, and I ended up buying it. So I've done a bunch of things. When I first got it, I put new tires on it, painted the wheels, painted the drums. It had single exhaust with the 60. I put some parts in the engine. I adjusted the brakes. I found these spider caps to put on it. They're an accessory stainless steel hubcap that was available from Ford. These are actually, I think, 36 spiders that are probably reproduction from the 70s. But I found them. I put them on there. I put some trim rings on, the deluxe trim rings. I added a mirror. I've added some vintage accessories to the inside here. I've got an old Warner electric brake controller just for fun. I've got a cigarette dispenser that is pressed to light and it plugs into the cigarette thing. You load them in here and then it dispenses them and it also lights it for you. So that's pretty cool. That's a little accessory there. Added a radio head to the dash and those gauges there, they're aftermarket. But the car is mostly original interior. That's original upholstery on the seat over there and original back seat. You can see it's kind of worse for wear. When it was amateurly restored, somebody painted the garnish moldings, not the original one. The wood grain on the dash is, I think, original, and it's in kind of poor shape. The headliner had been ripped out of it. But this car is very, very, very rust-free. There's no rust in the doors and the rockers or nothing. It's got a little bit of filler right here where both these fenders, or all these fenders in these cars rust. But there's no other holes in the body like here where the fender's attached. Very, very solid. It was in a minor accident at one point. I believe it's this fender is Washington blue on the underside. And so somebody to replace the fender at the one time. But the rest of the car is mint condition. The grill is like perfect. I had some rusty bumpers on it. I added better 37 bumpers. I added this BLC, new old stock BLC driving light. It is still 6 volts and still has manual brakes. The brakes on a 37 Ford and 36 they had mechanical rods, and 37 they went to cable brakes, and the cable brakes 37 and 8, and then 39 you had hydraulics come out, but the 37 and 8 cable brakes I would put up against early hydraulics any day. They're self-energizing and you adjust them. This car will lock up the front wheels and it just stops. I'm with Henry Ford. Henry Ford was not a hydraulic brake fan at all, even though some other manufacturers had hydraulic brakes way before Ford. Ford apparently rode in a car that had hydraulic brakes, blew a line, and couldn't stop. So he's like, I don't want that. I want the safety of steel from pedal to wheel. And that's what this car still has. The cable brakes, you get 4-wheel parking brake. When you put on the parking brake, all 4 wheels brakes get activated. So that's pretty cool. But I would put up 37 and 38 cable brakes up against 39 to 41 hydraulic brakes any day of the week. They stop great. So anyways, I adjusted the brakes. It runs good. I drove the car around with a 60. It was super tired, a lot of blow-by. Both water pumps are leaking. Believe it or not, Ford had 4 water pumps available for the V860s from 37 to 40. So some were tapered, some were straight. They're really hard to find parts for, and I tried fixing the water pumps on the original engine a couple times. They still kept leaking. And the big problem with the V860 cars is, obviously this is a full-size car, 60 horsepower is not much to move it. And to counteract the small engine, is only 136 cubic inches, they put a rear end in the car that was a 444 rear end ratio. That's right, 444. So these cars topped out about 50 miles an hour, almost wide open. Like screaming it would be 55, but cars 45 to 50, you were wound out. So not really usable for, especially now with modern highway speeds or modern just regular road speeds, not really usable. So a couple years ago, you can go back and watch, I have a build series on this. Like I said, I pulled out the 60 horse, I put in a 59 AB, I put in a 39 transmission, which is got some better synchros, and I changed the rear end, the complete rear end assembly I had out of a 38 Ford with 378 gears. So this is the driveline equivalent of like a 46 to 48 Ford. It's got a 59 AB, it's got a 39 box, which I guess 40 to 48 would have been side shift, but this is a top shift 39. It's got all the best parts. It's got a 59 AB motor, 39 transmission, 38 rear end with 378s. So now it is a easily drivable, 55, 60 mile an hour cruiser all day long. It's got the better transmission, the shift's nicer. 85 horse engine that's been rebuilt when I got it. So It's pretty good. I put dual exhaust on it, straight pipe dual exhaust, so it sounds wicked when it's running good. No mufflers, just inch and 3/4 straight pipes all the way out the back. I've got some little jeweled reflectors on the back there, aftermarket accessories, but it sounds wicked when it's running right. Keyword is running right, and that's the problem. It's not running right. So the problem with this car, I believe, is right there. It's still 6 volts, and I have a points. I put a crab distributor in it, so I believe 42 to 48 distributor, which uses like modern style plug wires and stuff. It's got new plug wires. It's got a new aftermarket carburetor. I'm running a 6-volt electric fuel pump about halfway back, which I did a video on that. I think the 6-volt pump is struggling to make enough fuel pressure. The thing runs, but not very well. I believe the ignition system is poor on it. It's running right now on about 5 cylinders. I don't think it'll start now because it's cold, but it's not running. The other problem is I'm running the original generator, which is an early style generator, and that is not charging. They're very hard to rebuild and get parts. And part of the problem with 37 Ford is you run the fan off the generator, so you need to have an adapter. You can't just go and put any old generator in it. It's got to have the right pulley and stuff to run the fan. So right now the car has been dead in the water. I spent a lot of time and money putting this whole drivetrain together, put it in the car, put the exhaust on it, drove it around the block once. It ran good, like one pass around it. Then it started running poorly, and I got frustrated, and it's been parked here for 2 years now. I took it to a car show, actually. I put some skirts on it, and I had it in like a tail dragger display because I did lower the back of the car with a lowered spring. So it's like all bolt on like early tail dragger stuff. But it wasn't running. I had a heck of a time. I couldn't even hardly get it on and off the trailer, and then I just brought it here and parked it here, and it's been where it's been for the last 2 years. So, why are we doing this video? Well, it's the anniversary of owning the car coming up this week at Hershey. Come see us in the chocolate field, CO 36 to 39. But the car does me no good sitting here. I've got a lot of money into it. I got the car for a real decent price, but I've got probably more money in the car now with putting a new engine and stuff in it than the car is worth. So I can't really sell it because I'm going to lose a lot of money selling it, and nobody's going to buy a car that doesn't run. So the thing to do is to make it run. And I thought I was Mr. 6 volt. Thought it'd be cool to leave it like it is. Well, guess what? I'm pulling the plug on the 6 volts. We're going to take that out. We're going to convert this car to 12 volts. Then I started collecting the parts to do that. If I switch it to 12 volts, I'm going to go back to a mechanical fuel pump in the engine. That's the first thing. Get rid of that stupid electric pump. Go to a mechanical fuel pump, back on the back of the engine, 12 volts. I'm going to buy a E-Fire ignition, so the same style like crab style distributor, but like electric ignition, so no points. It'll be all electronic E-Fire ignition made by, I think England makes them. I'm going to put an alternator on it with the adapter to run the fan. I know it's like purists don't want to see an alternator on the hood, and I could buy a Power Master generator for it that looks like a generator, but it's an alternator. But they're like $450. I don't really want to spend that much money. I don't really care that much. When I could just put a GM alternator on it with the correct pulley to run the fan, which is very simple. So I bought the bracket that mounts on the front here to mount an alternator, and the rest of this I put new hoses on it, new belts, new plug wires, the new carburetor. It's a 97 knockoff distributor repop, and everything else should be good. I had the radiator record. That was like $800 to get the radiator record. Ouch. So I've got a lot of money tied up in swapping this motor over. It's got to run. It's got to run and drive. So probably this winter, you're going to see. We're going to drag this thing out one way or the other, get it up in the shop, and we're going to do a 12-volt conversion on this car. I'm keeping my mechanical brakes, though, because the safety of steel from pedal to the wheel, if it's good enough for Henry Ford, it's good enough for me. But I want to be able to drive this car. Currently, it's not on the road. It's just in here hanging out. But I want to be able to drive it. It sounds wicked, like I said, when it's running. It's a super cool car. It's like an old school, early customized, like all bolt-on stuff. I could put the skirts back on it. I had my friend Paul pinstripe it and stuff like that. It's a cool car. It's gangster looking, you know, but I would like to drive it. I've had it this long, like I said, 2013 I've had it 12 years, and I've driven it about 20 miles. And I've got almost more money wrapped up in this car than half my other cars I have on the road. And I can't have any fun with it. It's been a constant battle the entire time I've had the car. I would like to drive it. It's a cool car. I think I've got it dialed in now, drivetrain-wise, where it could actually keep up with traffic. You'll notice that it is single tail light only because it's a standard, one tail light. So when I do the 12 volt conversion, I'll need to convert the lamps, the headlights and the lamps. It's right now the lights are super dim. I'll probably keep it one tail light. It has no turn signals. It's a standard, like I said. It has no turn signals, one tail light. I'll probably I'm going to leave the bug-eye headlights, and they have a bulb back in there. I'm going to put some kind of 12 volt, adapt some kind of 12 volt modern style projection beam lamp so I can keep the original style headlights. They do make ones where you can change them out to put like modern style headlights in them, but they just look bad. So I'm going to keep the original lenses and all that. I could add like a little LED, orange LED in here for turn signals. If I want to add signals and have them flash in the headlight lens himself, that's a trick that people do. But I want to be able to drive this car. It does me no good to sit here like a lump in the pole barn in the way. And, you know, you don't see them every day around here, especially this car deserves to be driven. It's a very, very, very solid, rust-free, neat old car that I kind of fell in love with when I bought it, and it was a good deal when I bought it, and I just need to follow through. It needs to be finished. So that is what my plan is, hopefully. Tell me what you think in the comments, and we'll see you at Hershey. I'm on the way there right now. We'll see you in the chocolate field. Hopefully with all kinds of sales and neat parts, and Hershey's the best time of the year. We'll see you at Hershey Park for the 2025 AACA show. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.